What's up, fellas? It's time for Wake Up Mintzy on a just beautiful day in the neighborhood. Holy crap, the Chicago weather's coming around. We're at the end of April. It's the last day of April. It's going to be a great summer. The vibes are everywhere. Feeling just positive energy everywhere I go, all over the city. Cubs are certainly part of it. They're kicking ass. Another 9-0 win over the Pirates. We got some Stella Blue coffee. We got some dude wipes. We're ready to have a damn good day. And we're going to be joined immediately at the start by our good friend, Matthew Piper Jenks, joining us, looking great as always. Incredible friend of the program, great influence in my life. Good morning, Jenks. How are you?
What an intro. Thank you, Mintzy. Thank you for having me. How you feeling? You look good.
Yeah, I feel great. Kind of feeling the State of the Union halfway point. Fun having you on. You know, I've shared, Jenks and I've shared this a lot, but this started back, I guess, early to mid-January was when we kind of started this thing. And, man, yeah. And I just, man, I can't say enough about Jenks because, you know, we all know, how the Frank walks and everything Frank's done, lost almost 200 pounds. Now he's walking like 15, 20,000 steps a day. We all see it. The content's great. Everybody, Frank's one of America's heroes, but you've also been a tremendous influence on me. And I'm just excited to have you on and share that and just let you know how grateful I am that you poured some time and some energy into me. And I hope I'm worthy. I feel like I'm worthy of it for sure. And I'm excited because this is kind of the halfway point of the it's a lifelong journey. I don't want to say that. But the weight loss goal, it's the halfway point. And, 4 months in, we're at the end of April. I'm down 30 pounds. Freaking A, man. Yeah, man, just, lifting, running.
30 pounds in how many weeks?
It's been January 2nd, I was 258, and I'm like 229, 230 now.
Okay, so it's like 16 or so weeks.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for the kind words, Mintzy. I've had a really fun time working with you a bit on your health stuff. And honestly, I think you're giving me way too much credit because you're the one putting in all the work. A lot of times I think I get too much credit with Frank too, because he's the one that's, putting in all these steps and totally changing his life. And I think it shows more just if you show encouragement to people and if you're not, an asshole basically or judgmental to everybody around you that's a little bit different, it can honestly go a long way, not to sound super corny. But Mintzy and I set up a system where he'll text me his workout report every day. So if he doesn't text me, I know he didn't go to the gym. And it's become quite a highlight for me, Mintzy, when I get your little update and you're always honest. You always let me know when you fuck up and you forget to run. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm allowed to curse. It's Mintzy. And you're always just straight up about it, which I think is great. I think you're also very coachable. But the one thing I would say feedback-wise is it takes about 4 to 10 iterations of explaining what we want executed until you fully implement it. For example, the weightlifting, where I think, 10 straight days you just sent me, I ran. I kept saying, why don't you lift? Why don't you stretch? But eventually you started doing it. And that's
I always stretch. Always. I stretch like crazy before I run because I know how important the hamstring stuff is, especially because that's like how you protect your back, especially when you're running, when you're a little overweight like I am. But I'm doing better on the lifting. I'm trying to get it to 3 days a week. It's been like 2, but it's definitely still happening. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting leaner. But man, I'm just so encouraged. What's up?
What's your best lift? Like bench press?
Yeah, probably bench. I do like bench and rows and lats and shoulders and bicep curls, triceps, and upper and lower crunches is usually like my workout, which I think's.
Yeah, so if you keep doing that with the stretching, and I know you're training for the marathon to raise money for a great cause, we might see a Mintzy six-pack by like 2026, 2027.
I'm not ruling it out. I freaking want it. I have a buddy of mine, Blake Williamson in Baton Rouge, who did the LASIK on my eyes. Williamson Eye Center, shout out. And he went from real big to having a six-pack at 42. And I'm texting him all the time. And I know it can be done. I know it sounds crazy, but
it's not that crazy. Here's the cool thing about abs. Everybody's got them. You just got to bring them out.
Yeah, well, I think
they're in there somewhere.
Yeah, the hardest thing to lose, like on it, like my face is thinning out, my legs, everything's good, but like still, it's all in here. And so, I'm going after it for sure. But I feel good, and I'm just encouraged. And like, I hit the 5 years no alcohol on Sunday, which is a big milestone. And for that, I decided to turn it up and ran a half marathon on Saturday, and I improved my time from the Moot Can't Sleep one by like 5 minutes. I ran like 2:29, but I was depleted at the end, and it showed me, how far of a bear the full marathon really is. Because I mean, I was cooked at the end of this half. I wasn't too sore the next day, but I mean, like, I was done, and so
Did you
I
have a
think that
certain body part just say like "fuck you, I'm done"? That's normally what
the
happens to
only
me
thing
when
that's been like causing problems is like I had some sciatic nerve stuff in my right like lower back in 2019, and sometimes it'll flare up like 8 or 9 miles into runs. But it's weird because it'll start hurting, but then I walk for a minute or two, a few minutes, and I start jogging again, and it's gone, which doesn't make any sense really. But yeah, so like that's kind of the one thing I'm a little concerned about. Is because it only does it when I strain it and go like too far, if that makes sense.
yeah.
But like as far as heart rate and endurance and all that, we're good. I'm not worried about any of that. But yeah,
What date is the marathon?
Sunday, October the 12th. Hope you can come for it.
So when's the first time are you gonna do a full like 20 miles? in
Yeah, I'm doing a
advance, or
training program that's so I've done some research on it. Does this make sense? So the training programs I've seen are like do 3 or 4 regular like 5K runs and then one long run a week, and then you kind of increase the long run by like a mile a week. And so right now my long ones have been like, I mean the half was an exception, but usually 6 or 7. But I'm going to kind of inch it up a mile every week during the summer because we've got time. Time to do it. But I don't know if I'm going to like run a full marathon before it, but I'm going to make sure I do like a 20 or maybe a 23 miler, something like that. Because I need to know. It's just that the wall I'm worried about is that mile 16 or 17. Like you get there and you're like, holy shit, I still got 10 miles left and I'm 16 in.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna hit. There's one in the teens you hit, and then there's like, in my experience, in the early 20s, you're gonna have a body part that starts telling you like it's broken, but it's probably just mental because your body's like trying to convince you to stop. But by the end of the thing, Mincy, you're going to basically be dragging your corpse over the finish line, and that's what you have to mentally commit to.
Oh, I'm
I'm
all
like if you were going to fight a gorilla, you got to just charge at it, be willing to die. Otherwise, you're going to be ineffective.
Yeah, no, I'm willing, dude. I'm all in, selling it out. I never thought, I'm going to run a full at 42, but, here we are. Like, my goal at the beginning of the year was literally, at the beginning when we started this, I was like, hey, and I talked to you about it. I was like, I want to run the St. Jude half in December. And then I ran a half in early to mid-March, and I was like, well, if we've already done this, why not go a little farther, right? And, like, where I'm at on the weight loss stuff, I'm down like 30, which is awesome. I think it's going to slow down some because I've been losing like 7 a month. I think it's going to kind of, not plateau, but just, but like, like my goal.
Plateaus, but you're also putting on muscle. So, yeah, you can't get discouraged by that. You'll see your weight maybe flatten a little bit, but you'll see your body also flatten. So you're not, you'll still feel the difference.
Yeah, and I think like I try to be, when you do the goal setting on this, you don't want to set unattainable stuff. You want to set stuff that's attainable. And I was real big on getting to like 230, 229 by the end of April. And then I was like hoping, I thought it 220 into June, like 5 pounds each, the next 2 months, I thought was reasonable. And then we're going to be in a fight for the last 20. So that's kind of the thought. But I don't know. I'm just so encouraged, man. And I love the videos you put out daily. Workout, you encourage people, you answer questions, the stoolies, and we're kind of all in this together. We're all trying to keep ourselves alive, be the best we can be, and Lord knows we all have struggles day to day. I mean, everybody does, and so I think it's like a communal, put out good energy and try to help others. And like where I'm at on it, like I've gotten to near this point. I mean, I've passed where I was in 2023, but I've gotten to this point like several times, and it's the next 20 or 30 has always been where I've gotten. And so I'm like Jedi locked in on it because like the Kobe job's not finished, but like I know that I've been to this point before and not been able to break through it. So this is more like turn it up.
That's one of the reasons, like with Frank, for example, we don't really have target weights or goals or things of that nature. we know when big milestones are coming up. We're hoping in the next couple months we'll break through the 300, which will be a crazy number. Frank was over 520 at some point. The scale didn't go any higher, so we don't even really know what his all-time high was. So just to think like where he is now is crazy. But rather than set goals, because the hard thing when you're doing goals with weight loss or fitness is you either hit it or you don't. So if you hit it, sometimes you can feel like, all right, job's done. And then you kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit, or you become a little bit more inconsistent, or you don't hit it. And then you kind of feel like a failure, but that goal might be an arbitrary number you came up with for weight loss, but you put on a bunch of muscle. So what I always recommend is rather than doing that and getting stressed about, stuff down the line, just try to win the day. You wake up and you just try to win the day. Like I was with Frank here till, whatever time the Devils overtime game ended. And then sometime after that, and woke up, was exhausted, but it's, you just got to win the day. So you just get your ass in there, do anything. Anything's better than nothing. Do that every day. You're going to be in fantastic shape.
I love that. Yeah, no, it's one day at a time. I think the big thing now is the consistent. I got to get in that consistent 5-6 days a week thing. But I feel good, man. I'm so encouraged. It's this is the lightest and best I've felt. I mean, I was feeling it earlier when I was walking to work. I was like, just damn. Like I feel so good right.
How the clothes fit.
Oh, dude, it's the best. I'm gonna have a spring cleaning on Saturday where I'm gonna just chunk. I've got so many double XL shirts that are gonna get thrown out, which is a good feeling.
Mikey Betts, bless his heart, ordered Frank new pants. He finally just stepped up and did it.
Nice, yeah. My jeans fit. My jeans fit like
until they fell off, like until he just accidentally flashed the whole office. We're barreling.
Yeah, my jeans fit like Jinkos right now, and like my belt's way too big, and yeah, man, it's just it's overall just like a good, encouraging feeling, but it's just such a rewarding journey. Like it's kind of one of those things. It's all you see all the cliches. The journey is the destination, but it's really true because when you like do something like this, you figure out so much more about your character. And like,
are you feeling more warm vibes from the ladies when you go out on the town?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I have more confidence. I think everything with women's confidence, and like I'm very confident right now, and I'm putting out like a lot of positive energy, and I think that they're attracted to that. I think that's it.
So
and when
you're on a heat.
Yeah,
just
we're on
to
a life
confirm
heater.
you're on.
We're on a life heater. We're out here. We're firing. We're doing it as big as we can. It's like a hilarious. It's like a post-hype breakout situation because I was bad with it in my 20s, and so now I'm like 41 and trying to make up for lost time. That's kind of the current thing. But it's just
You're an inspiration too. You're an inspiration too, Mintzy.
Well, how are you doing, Jenks? Because I know you put out so much to others, to Frank and myself and all, but I want to know how you're doing, man. What's going on?
What do you mean, me?
Yeah, man. How's your day today? How's life, Barstool? We doing good?
Oh, we're killing it. We just, get the content out, keep your head down, and try to sleep when you have any time to sleep.
What's the day-to-day of the Fleming beat? Got to be one of the craziest ever. Like, I mean, are you just like on call 24/7? Like, I mean, how often does he send 3 a.m. texts? Like, what's this like?
He knows, like, probably after around 11, he's most likely not going to get a response unless he's in, like, physical danger. But, yeah, messages and phone calls anytime, any place, for really any reason. I mean, he can call about Kathy Hochul, who is the governor of New York.
Oh, I know who she is.
Which is not the state Frank lives in. And that could just blow up a Sunday. But at the same time, we get to do so much cool shit. We had a couple great walks yesterday. We had Bartolo Colon, Eddie Hearn. Today we have Shane Spencer, the old Yankee, coming in. We have Alan Hahn, who does a lot of the Knicks coverage and is on ESPN Radio with Don LaGreca. We have some awesome walks next week. Mikey Betts has been booking a ton of great stuff. So the momentum's been awesome. And then the most rewarding thing is, I think Frank, most of his life was, honestly just kind of bullied. And you can see that in, the way he has outbursts and stuff. But it's kind of broken his brain in a good way, how he's now recognized in the streets and he gets the messages, online of people thanking him for inspiring them to start exercising. And for Frank, like that's the least likely outcome he could have ever imagined, when he joined Barstool or like throughout his life. If somebody told him one day you're going to be the guy people thank for starting to exercise and get in shape, he'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he'd yell about the Mets. So that's been really awesome. So for, all the jokes about how stressful and whatnot it can be, it's incredibly rewarding. I think the other thing too is people are always entertained by, when Frank's going nuts on Mikey or me or whatever. But they probably underestimate how close we all are. And, it's a very kind of special relationship in Fleming Enterprises. It's like Dave said, it's definitely not for everyone. But it's special. And I think we're on a great run.
Love that. Love that. Well, Frank's got to be real happy because his Mets thing right now. Dear God.
No, that's never, ever true. He never has to be happy. And it doesn't matter. The Mets are in first place. They ruined my Sunday because they lost one game. Sunday, gone. Just was gone.
Well, I know. I'm sure he was real thrilled when the Devils lost last night in overtime.
He took that pretty well. That was just like a headshot. But we'll see how he comes in today. Luckily, we got 2 walks. So you were saying, like, how's the day today? Much like the gym, it's like you show up, you got to be ready to go and hope for the best, expect the worst. And then you can't be soft. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. Working with Frank will challenge every aspect of you, mentally, physically, psychologically, like everything. But there's incredible payoff on the back end.
Makes sense. I also want to ask you, I know you're a big Knicks fan. A tough one last night, man. That's a hell of a series. Going back to Detroit, 3-2.
I've never watched the Knicks playoff game in my life where I didn't see a single offensive possession where it felt like they had a play, a set, or a fucking thought in their head about what they were trying to do on that particular possession. It was accidental basketball the entire time, or Brunson one-on-one. I can't fathom how you have that much talent on the court and you can't run pick and rolls with Brunson and Cat. You can't have people, running off screens for Bridges to, get open in the corner, just basic shit, not anything crazy. They're running around like they've never played together. So it was a very depressing loss. I think it's irrelevant whether or not they win the series. The Celtics are going to smoke whoever they play next.
That's kind of how I feel too. The Celtics-Cavs thing feels inevitable in the Eastern Conference Finals, but still, Boston and New York playing in the playoffs would certainly be exciting. This Pistons series has been something, though. I mean, New York's honestly lucky.
It's fun, but we're not in a position to beat a team like that. Cat plays like he's a small forward. There will be full possessions on offense where he never gets his foot in the paint. And he's 7 feet tall, and he's actually good when he's playing in the mid-range and if he's ever, God forbid, back to the basket. But that's not how the modern NBA works. So you have 7-footers that are just standing 30 feet from the hoop for a full 24 seconds. It drives me nuts.
That's fair. Well, that was a tough one last night. They did pull that game 4 out of their ass in Detroit because Cat made those 2 crazy shots. Up 3-2. Still got to feel pretty good about the series. But the Pistons thing's kind of been fun, though. They haven't been in the playoffs in God knows how long. And so I think it's good for the sport having them back. They're an old traditional franchise. But
I've enjoyed how they're beating the shit out of each other. That has been fun.
Yeah, it's been like an old school 90s series a little bit.
Yeah.
Playoffs have been pretty good, man.
A couple games started and neither team could score at all. Like they were
the rock fights. I had the under in one of them and just won. It was that game 2, I think, and won it by like 20 or 30 points. But playoffs have been good so far. I mean, last night Jamal Murray went the playoff Murray thing every year. He had 43 last night. Was 8 of 14 from 3. The Nuggets are up 3-2 now. That Clippers-Nuggets series has been back and forth. It's been really good. I'm very curious to see if the Lakers are done or have any fight left. What do you think?
I thought it was very interesting to see Anthony Edwards literally shove LeBron in the chest, talk shit, looking him right in the eye. And then the second time he hit him, LeBron looked over at the ref. And it felt like a real alpha moment. I think the Timberwolves have a huge opportunity tonight. You do not want to let this series extend. You got an opportunity to just kill them. And I think the way you do it is you just got to move the ball very quickly. Like always be running in transition, because if you can make LeBron and Luka work on defense, they're going to run out of gas. And that's the Lakers' fundamental problem. I mean, they're not a very deep team either. But I think it would be fun to see because, Ant went after KD last year and beat him. If he takes out Luka and LeBron and then makes a run, it'll be fun to watch. It'll be interesting.
No doubt, man. He's turned into just. I didn't realize he led the NBA in threes made this year at 40%. I mean, you think of him and his crazy athleticism, and he's built like a linebacker and his leaping and all that. But man, the dude can shoot too. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's a superstar.
I think guys are actually intimidated by him too, which we haven't seen in a long time. Like when he got in LeBron's face, LeBron did not look like he wanted any part of it. So we'll see.
The other one, have you been watching that Golden State looking to close out Houston? Does Golden State have another run in them? I mean, the winner, it would be Golden State Wolves next round.
Yeah, I think they definitely have a chance to win this round and the next round. And if Curry and Butler are both healthy and Draymond's healthy, that core is incredibly strong, experienced, and then there's only one Steph Curry in the world. What he does to any defense, the way you essentially are playing 3-on-4 on the back end because you're doubling him at all times and chasing him around the court. He's so special. So I know we should appreciate LeBron, end of his career coming up. Curry, what fascinates me, Mintzy, is he's still running as like a primary scorer. So imagine in 5-6 years, if he slowed down a bit and he has hopefully no big injuries, he could hit these 3-pointers forever. You know what I mean? And get open. So if he played into his 40s, it would be funny to see. Who knows? Curry could end up with a couple more titles.
No, he could. I remember it obviously Steph's the best shooter of all time, but Ray Allen kind of went that route toward the end with the Heat.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Steph could definitely do that. Just be a role player hitting threes off the bench forever. I don't know.
People forget Ray on the Bucks used to take the ball to the hoop and yam it on people. Ray could score from everywhere. It's just the very end of his career where he was like a shooter.
Yeah, no, I think it's the Steph thing. He's my favorite to watch ever. I mean, there's never been anything like it. Who do you think? Do you think the Thunder can be beat in the West?
Yeah, I think a huge thing in NBA playoff series is experience, both from the players, especially your best player, especially the guy that's going to have the ball at the end of the game, as well as your coaching staff. So the Warriors are going to have an inherent advantage on that against the Timberwolves if they play them, against the Thunder if they play them. I think the Thunder are deeper. They got more talent, but young guys deep in the NBA playoffs sometimes can fall apart, and teams can fall apart. The experienced teams are much better at handling the pressure and going out and just playing their game. And then a guy like Jimmy Butler also excels in these situations, and a guy like Curry obviously lives for these situations. So if I'm the Thunder and I'm the higher seed and I've got all these expectations, I'd be kind of scared of seeing the Warriors in the conference finals.
Yeah, well, the Thunder are in a good spot because they're well rested, swept the Grizzlies, and the Nuggets and Clippers are just beating the hell out of each other. So they should be in a good spot in theory in the second round because this Nuggets Clippers series has been unbelievable. I know last night wasn't a close game, but 3 of the 5
down
to them.
It can work both ways though. If the series closes in 6, it is tough if you've beat the shit out of an inferior opponent 4 times in a row, had a break before the series, so you haven't played a really good team in a long time, and then all of a sudden you're boom in the second round playing a real playoff team. So that'll be the challenge for the Thunder, especially being less experienced.
Yeah, I feel like the Rockets have shown their inexperience against Golden State. Like they're definitely talented and play hard on D and all that, but I feel like they can't shoot free throws, and I don't know. I mean, they had a great year, the number 2 seed, but they got a bright future.
Also, part of the NBA playoffs is your team is going to get just blindsided with some crazy ass shit, and it's going to be demoralizing, and you're going to lose the game, and you have to learn how to rebound from those losses. And I think it's really hard the first couple years teams are making playoff runs to do that. And Curry is the ultimate guy to just kick you in the nuts, at any given point in the series. And those poor Rocket fans, because with Harden, he did the same thing, and now they're getting it all over again.
Yeah, it is tough. It just shows you that they were the 2 seed and they were big underdog going into the series. I mean, it just shows you the experience of Golden State. Well, so coming up, y'all got a couple walks today, just banging the content out. What else on the horizon?
A couple walks today. Frank's got some traveling coming up. Podcast tomorrow. I think what we've got is a good problem here because, again, Mikey's been doing a great job booking guests. I've been booking guests, and we're going to have a little bit of a bottleneck. So when you have a weekly show, you want to always make sure you got a couple in the, back pocket, so to speak. But if you have too many, then it gets a little bit challenging. So we're going to basically just discuss it with Frank's fans on his podcast tomorrow morning. I believe it'll be at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Nice. Well, awesome, man.
So
Well,
it's the best problem possible. We got a bunch of awesome walks that are both filmed and booked.
hell yeah. Well, I love it, man. Love seeing Frank's journey, inspiring me, and I know you're a huge part of it. And I just can't thank you enough because I know, like you said, we're doing the work.
Thank yourself. Congratulate yourself. You're the one putting in the hard work, brother. You're more than welcome.
It helps me so much to be accountable, though.
I appreciate it, but I really don't do that much. You got to give yourself the bulk of the credit here. I'm not even there.
I mean, I'm one of those people, like, being able to, it really helps, like, having that accountability, though, because, like, it keeps me from, like, falling off ledges sometimes.
I'm not used to getting a ton of thank yous, so I'm not good at receiving them. But sorry, you're welcome, and I love you, and I'm proud.
I appreciate it. Love you too, Jenks. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, as always, and keep up the good work with Frank. And, man,
Do you like the Saints draft?
Yeah, so my thing on it was it's the first time they actually admitted they're rebuilding. Because, like, every year they trade up all their picks. And
First step is admitting you got a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And so they've quit lying to themselves, and they kept all their picks. And, it's like one of those where you, like, look back on it, like, I think they strengthened the depth of their D. They got a really good offensive tackle. I have no idea if Tyler Shug's going to be good or not, second-round quarterback out of Louisville. People think he could be. Some people think he isn't. I mean, he had 3 season injuries in college. He's 26. But if it works out, great. And if it doesn't work out, they get like a top pick in the next couple of years. So it's kind of just, it is what it is. If it doesn't work out, then you try to get like Arch Manning or somebody in the next couple of years. But hoping for the best. I like Kellen Moore and the new staff. So, I mean, yeah, I think
the Dolphins are going to be terrible. So basically, we're going to ride out this Mets season. They're in first place and we're stressed. So I don't really know what the future looks like there. But I know the Dolphins are coming in with a sledgehammer in August. So we just got to gear up.
What is it like managing the Frank thing when you go to Citi Field?
It's like being a security guard.
I believe
But the good thing is 99.9% of everyone that interacts with Frank is awesome. Most of like the really nasty people are people online with weird avatars and burner accounts.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that. That's kind of been something that's really in my 4 or 5 years of Barstool, the difference between the real life and Twitter. I mean, it's like crazy. Because like people,
he's like Elvis in Citi Field. Everyone recognizes him. The funny thing though, Mintzy, is because he's so much smaller and he moves much more quickly, fans have a harder time spotting him. But then once eventually somebody says Frank the Tank, then it's kind of like the fucking Beatles and everybody swarms him. But yeah, going to a Mets game with Frank there's nothing like it.
I can't even imagine. Have y'all hit any lately?
He's going tomorrow, actually. So I told him I work at a company called Barstool, so I'm going to be here in the office. But I'm actively working on getting someone to go with him.
All right, cool. Well, awesome, man. Well, glad to hear everything's good. Loving the Frank stuff. Just onward and upward, man. Let's keep this positive energy train rolling.
Keep filling it, Mintzy. And when you're on the road, no fucking excuses.
I do. I had a really good last trip. Was real positive on that. So I think
that was in the early days. You had a hard time on the road.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, just going to New Orleans is always dicey, but hadn't been since Super Bowl week. It's been weird because it's the longest I've sat out. First time I've sat out in New Orleans spring in a long time, but it's been good. We're on the health
and you're losing a ton of weight and you're doing great. So
yeah. And summer's going to be so. The thing is like living up here. The summer's so great that it's kind of been like a hold it back and just enjoy the summer kind of thing is what's coming. So it's going to be a great summer. I'm looking forward to hitting the pool with my new body. Watch out.
Cannot wait for that.
Hell
all right,
yeah.
Mintzy. I love you.
Thanks, Jenks.
You got it, bro.
Appreciate Jenks joining us this morning. Obviously I could tell by that. A lot of respect for him. Great dude. Behind the scenes hero at Barstool for sure. His influence on Frank. And, I mean, he's helped me. He downplays it, but he's helped me a ton too. We're going to be joined by Tyler Moody here behind him as always. Hopefully Moody's having a good Good morning, Louisiana. Enjoyed watching some more playoff hockey last night. Gold Vegas beat Minnesota in overtime. Another thriller. Man, these hockey playoffs are just sick. There's so many OT games, but really thought that was a great one. And then it wouldn't be the playoffs. The Maple Leafs weren't choking. They got shut out at home by Ottawa last night. Now it's Toronto 3-2 going back to Ottawa. So, their history of choking in the playoffs. I know their fans got to be getting a touch anxious. NBA Celtics closed out the Magic. No surprise there. In 5 games, Pacers beat the Bucks 119-118 in overtime in a thriller. Interesting scene with Giannis getting into it. I believe with Halliburton's dad right after the game. I wonder if that's Giannis's final game as a Milwaukee Buck. Damian Lillard tearing his Achilles, just terrible. And looks like Milwaukee may be in a rebuild. So I'm curious to see if that's it for Giannis, who obviously won a title and has been a superstar with the Bucks. But excited for some of the games tonight, Lakers-Wolves especially, but Rockets-Warriors and Lakers-Wolves both very, very interesting matchups. Barstool stuff, shout out to Tate and Beef. 6 hours, 40 minutes to finish their challenge last night. People said it was impossible. Tate with the nothings and anything's possible. Kevin Garnett celebration, but they continue to crush the Stool After Dark. Props and shout out to them. Played Werewolf yesterday on Stool Streams. Suck at it. I was the Werewolf 3 times, and I just got sniped, and I'm beginning to think I'm not very, very good at that game. Other stuff coming up too. Saturday, join me and Kadick and Spider. Are going to be at DraftKings Wrigley to watch the Kentucky Derby at 5. Can't wait to fire some horses on the DK Horse app. If you haven't gotten on there yet, check that out. And then Sunday, we're all heading to Arizona because we got a big DraftKings gala in Arizona Monday night. That should be a hell of a lot of fun. We'll throw on the black tie suit for that occasion. So, also, some college baseball stuff. Mississippi State's first game without Chris Lemonis. They crushed Memphis 18-6 last night. So maybe the interim will get them hot. Memphis sucks though, so I don't know how much to read into that. Super excited about the Rebs though. What's up, Moody? Clean shaven.
Yeah, dude. I hadn't. So the home run props had gone cold, and so I just came to the conclusion that I needed to switch it up. Needed to shave. Doing everything we can today to try and get back to business, but also my MacBook wasn't working, so I'm on my phone, so hopefully you can hear me.
Oh, you look fine. Yeah, it's fine. But you look fresh. Clean shave. You look like you're 5 years younger.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I normally don't let my facial hair grow that much, but here lately I've been doing it more because I've been lazy, to be honest with you. I've been too lazy about it. But yeah, I normally keep my face shaved, but I also want to lock in with you guys on the health stuff because I'm a little overweight right now compared to my normal. So I'm locking in with you. I'm gonna put myself together a little routine, and I'm gonna lock in with you boys. So you'll have a little extra support, man, because y'all got me inspired this morning. So time to lock it the fuck in.
Well, Moody, you've always been very health conscious because you've always been a great influence on me on it, and so I think that's very ironic and kind of full circle because you always have been on it. I'm on like a lot of the Moody tips now where I take the probiotics for the gut health and I do the apple cider vinegar every day. And, you're all into the wellness stuff, I know.
Yeah, my gut health used to be awful. And then I healed my gut health. And now I'm being disrespectful to my gut health by having the munchies every night and then just pounding food late night. And that's killing me. So I think I have to go the stew route. And I think I have to give up the late night marijuana too. I think it's gotta go. I think it has to go because it impacts my morning. I wake up, I come in here groggy. I ate a bunch of bullshit before I went to sleep, and I'm not on my P's and Q's. And you start your day a little bit behind when you do that. So I'm gonna lock it in with you boys. I'm gonna say goodbye to my favorite girl, Mary J. Maybe I'll say what's up to her on like Friday nights or something.
All right.
But I think the game plan right now is just no Mary J. We lock it in, and we put our health and the home run props at the front, and make sure we're doing everything the way we should be doing it. So you're inspiring me this morning.
Tyler Moody, health and home run props. I love it. That's
love it. Let's lock it in for the people. It's not just that I'm doing it. People follow my home run props, and I feel like shit whenever I know I lost some people some money because I've won them plenty of money over time, but there's days I lose them money, and those days don't sit well with me. And so anything I can do to be better in those spots, I'm going to do. So that's kind of my thoughts this morning.
There you go. Pro baseball, Cubs 9-0 over the Pirates, man. Cubs schedule starting to weaken up after they played the West, dude. This Cubs thing feels like it's going to take over Chicago this summer, man. People are hyped. Tickets.
I think it is. I don't see them fading. And also, there's a chance that maybe they add a pitcher at the trade deadline. I could see them going getting a Sandy Alcantara, maybe Dylan Cease. Now, I don't think they're going to sell him anymore. I don't think Cease is going anywhere. But I could see the Cubs going and getting a piece that they need. They're certainly the front runner in that division. They're going to have to deal with the Brewers. The Reds are hot right now, but the Cubs are the most complete team of those three. So they're in a great spot, and I think you guys are in for a very exciting summer in Chicago.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a great summer, dude. I've been saying it all year. Vibes are super high. Dude, this Mets thing, how good do you think they are? Because, I mean, their record's crazy.
I think they're legitimate. Yeah, and the crazy thing is, Juan Soto is not playing like Juan Soto. I think he's hitting like 250 right now. He's come on a little bit as of late, but he keeps hitting the ball on the ground. He is hitting a ton of ground balls. I think he's only homered 2, maybe 3 times so far this season. Tons of ground balls. He's hitting into double plays occasionally. So it really has not been Juan Soto that has made the Mets that much better. It's been Francisco Lindor and the return of Pete Alonso, who they almost let walk this summer. But meanwhile, Alonso has been an absolute star. They got Holmes from the Yankees, former reliever for the Yankees, turned him into a starter. He's been elite so far. He's doing a great job. And the Mets are just playing above their means in a lot of different spots. And then Juan Soto, coincidentally, is the one that's kind of struggling a bit. So I think the Mets are legit, though. They're very legitimate.
Yeah, well, I got to give a shout out to the cap you're wearing. You're wearing the LSU Shreveport Pilots cap, 47-0 regular season in AIA baseball. Dude,
Yeah.
How do you not lose a game in baseball? I mean, like even Tennessee lost a couple years ago.
Yeah, no, and absolutely insane, to be honest with you. Shout out to Brad Neffendorf. He took over there a few years ago, and he deserves a ton of credit for what he has done with that baseball program. LSU Shreveport has always been an NAIA powerhouse, but no team in the history of 4-year athletics has ever gone 47-0 in a baseball season. And look, this team could probably beat, I understand they're NAIA, they could beat bad D1 programs. Like, I truly believe that. They have some guys that, they got some guys that come through there that are legitimate. So got to give Brad Neffendorf a ton of credit. Lucas Morgan, their AD, deserves a lot of credit too. They've done a great job. So shout out to the boys. Shout out to the Pilots.
Yeah, man, that's just, I had to give him a shout out here. I mean, that's just 47-0 is freaking crazy. I mean, that's bananas.
Look, it's not just that they were 47-0. They were beating teams like 35-1.
No, I saw it. They won like 38. Yeah,
yeah, it was crazy, man.
No, that's wild. But yeah, so, Moody continuing to fire. Dude, the home run props thing, you can't be too hard on yourself. Dude, that's the hardest thing to do day to day ever. And I know you hold yourself to a standard, but like there's going to be bad stretches.
Well, I'm okay with it on days when there's not a lot of home runs across the league. I'm just like, all right, it is what it is. There wasn't many dingers today. Like, there was nothing to have, essentially. Days like yesterday don't sit well with me. Whenever there was just a lot of home runs yesterday, and I was a little bitch about it. And because I had been cold the last 2 days, I didn't fire many shots. And I should have been ready to go no matter what. No matter what happened the day before, I should have been ready to go if the board dictates it. And I showed up. I was scared. I didn't fire the shots that I should have, and I left legitimate home run props just off the board that I should have had. So I think those are the days that don't sit well with me. There's other days that I understand it's part of the game. But yesterday could have been better had I been better, for sure.
What, dude, this Yankees thing last night, they hit, I mean, they did it again. I mean, my God, dude, they went back to back to back.
They're going to have these games whenever they face a pitcher that doesn't have his stuff. The Yankees are going to have some days like that. They have legitimate home run guys, and then they're going to have days where they strike out 15 times as a team. Like, this is a team with a ton of swing and miss, a lot of pop. That's just kind of what they are at this point.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, they won 15-3 last night and hit a million home runs. I'm enjoying following the baseball day to day, though. I'm following a lot more because of you. And the Cubs thing's gonna be fun. I brought it up yesterday though. This White Sox Elko thing. I mean, dude's hitting 370 with 9 bombs in AAA already, and they can't win a game. Like, what's going on here? Like,
They got to get him up at some point. Like I said, I think it's probably a month away. You let him get a little bit more seasoning, and then bring him up. Beginning of June. A lot of times, that's when these guys on teams that aren't going to make the playoffs get called up. They want them to get like a half season. June, July. I would expect Elko comes up somewhere around that time, assuming that he stays healthy and keeps hitting the ball like this.
yeah, well, ready to see it, man. I'm ready to go hit some baseball games on the south side, that's for sure. Well, also, man, we'll keep firing the home run parlays and props. Follow Moody on Twitter. I think I'm going to come up here. The Blutman watches ball streams have been doing good. I think I'm going to come up and watch some sports with him tonight. They'll be a lot of fun. Blutman's great, man. I mean, he really is, dude. He's one of the most unique people I've ever met.
Yeah, you can tell he really he puts the sports in Barstool Sports.
He does. He does, dude.
Y'all need people like Blutman. You need more
that just lives
like
for it. That lives for it.
Yes, desperately. I love those kind of people. People that know their craft and like legitimately love the sports. Like Blutman is the man, 100%. But I have to ask you about one thing, Mitch. Okay. That video with you and Smokes, with the top 10 running backs.
Dude, forgetting Adrian Peterson was just one of the worst. Dude, that is
the thing is, that's your stuff.
I know, dude. I just froze. I just froze. I just froze, and then it got nervous. I don't know, dude. It was, that was the forgetting Adrian Peterson's stupid. I mean, I've done a lot of stupid stuff in my life, but that was top 5 dumbest things I've ever seen. Just unbelievable.
That's just your kind of thing. Like
I know. I'm good at trivia.
The video, I was like, oh, Mintz is going to kill this. And then you let Smokes just dog walk you. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it either, dude. No, I mean, I'm embarrassed.
It happens.
No, I'm ashamed. It's just horrendous. Horrendous video. But regardless. But shout out Jenks. Appreciate everything he's doing. Moody, let's get hot on the home run parlays today, man. Let's get it back.
Let's get hot. It's coming. It's coming
for
sure. I got
fire as always on DraftKings. Thanks to Dude Wipes. Find them at Amazon, Target, Walmart, all over the World Wide Web. Go drink some Stella Blue. Enjoy a beautiful day in the neighborhood.